Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Janda, and this is my Let's Play of Rule the Waves 3 as the United States. We are at war with Spain, and we're in the middle of invading Cuba in an effort to force them to the peace table, despite their generally superior navy. The military situation, for any of you who haven't seen this before, is that the military situation is fairly bad. We do have equality in number of battleships with Spain, but not in size because our two older Michigan-class battleships, I am afraid to fight against the heavily armored Spanish battleships. However, that's not the main problem. The main problem is, although we have more heavy cruisers, there's average a lot heavier weight, and they have many more light cruisers. So we are basically fighting a cruiser war in the Caribbean, and not winning it so far. However, that is slowly changing. We're due to complete a new battleship any day now. And overall, the situation should be under control fairly soon. Ideally, depending how the battles go with Spain. They still have a heavy force of cruisers in the Caribbean, which we'll probably only get rid of by sinking. Fortunately, they can't base the majority of their fleet here, it doesn't seem like, or they don't want to. In any case, most of their ships are in Northern Europe. We're building docks, we are building a battleship, another new armored cruiser. These are our two good battleships, the Oklahoma class. Then we have four, I'm going to call them colonial armored cruisers, two proper armored cruisers, two good light cruisers. Spain has a bit more than that, but it's a winnable war. Otherwise I wouldn't have started it, but fleet-sized cruiser battle. We might just have to run from the... Oh, wow, the Spanish declined battle. That is a surprise, to be honest. Alrighty, oh wow, intelligence really... I don't even have intel on for Austria-Hungary, but apparently some spy got in there. Yeah, we are fighting to conquer Cuba as we speak, which would be the main objective of the war, if we could take it. And with two battleships down here, we have naval superiority. I'm going to move immediately our newly commissioned Oklahoma-class battleship, the Montana, down into the Caribbean in hopes, basically, that three battleships are better than two. Oh yes, both of our good armored cruisers are still undergoing repairs, which is an extra issue, but we're just going to have to work around that. We have exactly one free captain, so we're just going to have to give him the... No, not that. We're going to have to give him our new battleship and hope he turns out to be alright. Oh, and we should stick Oklahoma into the 2nd Battle Division, or Montana into the 2nd Battle Division. There we go. Okay, wow, we have a good profit now, actually, but we just need to use it to keep building these light cruisers, which... We actually still have a small budget surplus, even with an armored cruiser, 3 light cruisers, and 2 corvettes building. So what do we need most still? Assuming that this war actually proceeds with Spain. We have... We're basically only going to have 3 good armored cruisers, even once this new one is completed. Spain has 5, although they mostly are good. I think I have to use this budget surplus to keep building Pittsburgh-class armored cruisers. Pueblo, that's a pretty good name. Alright, next turn, another cruiser battle. If our battleships get involved, these are completely winnable, but they theoretically shouldn't. Cruiser on cruiser is very dangerous. Okay, we have 2 light cruisers. If we only encounter Spanish light cruisers... Okay, it's immediately dark. We're probably not going to find anything, but... What's the range here exactly? 2,000 yards. That's pretty close. Alrighty. Maximum speed, please. No positive ID. I mean, that has to be the Spanish cruisers, but... It's going to be the next best thing to impossible to reliably maintain contact with them in the dark here. Not exactly any radar in 1893. Even if I necessarily wanted to, because we could be badly outgunned. But I was trying to chase them, and I think we have lost them. Which is unfortunate, but not surprising, because, well, yeah. If we had needed to escape the battle, darkness would have been handy, but to be fair, I was trying to fight it. Or I was prepared to at least give it a shot, and yeah. These battles that are really close to night, pretty much impossible. Might as well go down to cruising speed. We're just going to head back to Tampa and into port to end the battle. Yep, end scenario. Well, it was an armored cruiser and 2 light cruisers. None of us hit each other at all. It was kind of their bad light cruisers. Well, that one was good. We were definitely outgunned, but in the dark might have had a chance. Oh, thank the gods. We have training in gunnery and damage control now. That's going to be... What? France has entered the war on our side. Well, that certainly changes things. I think it resets the... Oh, it doesn't reset the victory points. That's good. I can get used to. But that's, I didn't think that we were anywhere near having that I had not heard anything about that happening, but, I mean, I did negotiate, I think, an agreement with France before, if I remember right, maybe, but I didn't anticipate they would actually enter this war. That is more than welcome, though. As you can see, France has some 13 battleships in service and should very easily blockade and destroy the Spanish fleet in Europe, which could pretty much just force them to the peace table immediately. Yeah, we'll see how that develops, but that seems like a crushing blow to Spain immediately. We have a positive monthly balance again. I hardly know how to spend all the money. I don't believe we've invented destroyers yet. You know, it's not very positive. I'll just hold out on it for now. And Spain is immediately blockaded by France. That will probably another Pittsburgh at a 10% discount. I love these discounts. They're always very tempting to me. I think we will take it, to be honest. It's fast, too. I think we'll take it. Revolutionary. The intelligence service is considering offering safe passage for a revolutionary of some renown to his home country, Spain. This will foment revolution and may force them to the negotiating table. On the other hand, revolutions tend to be contagious. What do you recommend? You know what? Nah, we're gonna beat Spain anyway, with France on our side. I'd rather not take the risk or lose the prestige. The raiders are annoying, but the blockade is going to be much worse than anything the raiders can do to us. Yeah. Sometimes for these guys on trade protection, I just throw them on there whether they're worked up or not, but honestly, these armored cruisers that are filling in are not good for anything else anyway, so. So we've got, besides the 3 battleships, we've got 2 cruisers of each class in the Caribbean. We have a 3rd cruiser that should be ready soon, but how many does Spain have? Allegedly 4 and 4. We really are struggling to achieve cruiser equality, but they can't fight our battleships, so... Oh, crikey. Cruiser action in support of land combat. Could we not... Oh, some ships from our ally France have joined our force. Well, that could certainly turn the... It's about to get dark again, though. Unhelpful. Okay, well, this certainly... So we have our 2 armored cruisers, Pittsburgh and Huntington, both of this class, and our 2 Chicago-class cruisers, Columbia and Chicago. And it appears we're joined by the French armored cruisers Montcalm and Jeanne d'Arc, which... Were those both Shanxi class? No, they're different. 8,300 tons, 6 8-inch guns. 2 of them are in the side sponson mounts, but 3.5-inch belt, 12 5-inch. This is 8 6-inch, but only 4 8-inch, 4-inch belt. Well, these are both quite decent armored cruisers that the French have joining us, so it's a real shame that Twilight is about to fall, because if we could actually fight the Spanish properly with the help of these French ships, I think we would have a pretty good chance of winning. Unfortunately, I reckon we have about... It's apparently dark 30 nautical miles east, so I don't think we're going to get a chance to actually fight this out. Yeah. However, we will try to run the Spanish down. If we could catch them, it would be probably worth fighting. Okay, there's one of them. Maybe we turn north and try to head them off. They're not more north than that. Okay, we're engaging. To be fair, it's only twilight. Full dark is... Oh, no, it is full dark, yeah. I guess the range is just... Honestly, I'm not sure how we're spotting them. I guess, fortunately, the weather is clear, so the spotting range, even at night, is pretty good. Let me just adjust these guys to get them into a line ahead, because they're not really operating as a screen at the moment, to be honest. Now, accuracy is extremely poor, even in daylight in 1893. I have to assume it's absolutely abysmal at night, but we have to try. I think. Did I put this to line abreast? I really meant line ahead. But sometimes it has a weird habit of changing the formations on you for things it considers as support units. I think we just took a hit, but that's alright. Okay, they've doubled back on us. I'm going to have my light cruisers turn straight around. Okay, that's a Navarra class. We've actually got a positive ID. Let's try to cut that one off. That's one of their best light cruisers, or protected cruisers, actually, but... if... Okay, don't let him cross the T of our armored cruisers. This has got to be shooting range. There we go. If we could get even a couple of good 8-inch hits in, it could be enough to cripple a protected cruiser. Are you guys... You are back in line abreast. Why are you doing this? Maybe if I set them to independent. Okay, we landed a hit. This guy is pretty surrounded now, but he can't just probably break through our lines. It's so dark. He's wavering, though. Okay, he's done it now, but we landed at least a couple of hits. If he's slowed at all, we might actually be able to catch him. Not sure how many Spanish ships there actually are. If they only got 2 for this battle, they really were in trouble even with just our force. But they might have just ended up very scattered in the dark. I don't think he's slowed down significantly, but he's still in firing range, so as long as he is, or she is actually, being a ship, but now I'm thinking maybe she has. Yeah, 15 knots. That's definitely slower. I believe the class is capable of 22, at least according to our intelligence reports. Oh, but there's their port. No, she could probably escape into port if we don't finish her off immediately. Ports are pretty much inviolate in Rule of Waves games, unfortunately, so... Yeah, she's gonna get away into there. That's a shame. Well, we caused some damage anyway. If it had been daylight, maybe we even would have sunk her. Yeah. They did only have 2 cruisers. That's kind of surprising. They definitely have more than that in the Caribbean. That was the Don Antonio de Ulloa. Yeah, we didn't really cause that much damage, but enough to class the battle as a win, but not decisive, obviously. And we've commissioned the Baltimore and Starling. Our scientists are struggling. Okay, we've developed loading mechanization. Rate of fire improvement. Still fighting in Cuba. And the French have sunk the Spanish armored cruiser Almirante Oquendo and the corvette Alcazar, and lost the Poitou. I don't know French. We are still blockading them, and France are adding victory points as well, so this is just, this has got to be pretty one-sided at this point. I mean, even if we can't actually sink a single damn Spanish ship ourselves. Well, that was one of their better. It was one of their bigger armored cruisers. I don't know what class it was exactly, but they've only got 3 big ones left now, plus the small one. And we have 2 big ones in service, but they're probably not both in the Caribbean. Yeah. They only have 2 in the Caribbean, allegedly. Our intel might not be perfect on that, but we probably have a fighting chance on our own in any cruiser engagement in the Caribbean now. At least as soon as Baltimore is done working up and actually ready for surface. She will need a captain. Who's available? Nobody special. You get Baltimore, Captain Henneberger. Very small monthly profit, but that's fine. Convoy attack. Okay. Oh. Oh. For God's sake, you were just commissioned. Well, I guess that's the point of a working up period. Oh, huzzah. Okay. We've taken control of Cuba as of... Alright, that's unhelpful. As of November 1893, we've taken control of Cuba. That is a big win over Spain. That was the main objective of the war. But there are still 2 side objectives. I guess we're going to start by trying to take Guantanamo Bay, because I understand why it's a separate zone, but it is a little illogical to invade it separately from Cuba in this case. We're going to do that now, though. Then we'll go after Puerto Rico next. 3 months for Baltimore to be ready. That is unhelpful. Oh well. So we got 5 more cruisers coming out of the yards. That seems right. I mean, we're going to need more battleships very soon, but maybe some... Oh, okay, well. Maybe we could renew that, seeing as we're at war together. No? Oh, we've... I read that right? That said that we've invented the concept of fleet tactics. Let me see. Where was that? Our invasion has been delayed due to unfavorable weather. Our new docks are finished. I'm going to immediately build new ones again, because 12,000 is still not enough to build our own battleships. I forget, I think one of these buttons brings those messages up again, but fairly sure that's what it said. Spain has 6 battleships in service now? Yeah, 5. They're oh no, wait, 6, yeah. They're just pumping out this Velasco class. It has very thick armor, but with only 2 11-inch guns, I'm not actually very afraid of it. I think these Fernando the 7ths are much better on the same tonnage, to be honest. In fact, I'm not really even clear on what they did with the tonnage for the like 2 12s, 2 11s, 12 5s, 16 knots, 16-inch belt. 12 5. I guess what they did is they swapped 2 12-inch guns for 6 6-inch guns, but that's kind of an insane choice, to be honest. So, for a battleship. So I'm not really clear on why they would do such a thing. But that's where they're at. Okay. Alright, we've acquired a little undramatic because there hasn't been a big decisive battle about it, but we have pretty much attained supremacy in the Caribbean at this point. Apparently, all their ships have left to go probably back to Europe by the look of it to fight France, try to break the blockade that they're under. So, as soon as the weather is more favorable, I assume that's because it's winter probably. As soon as the weather is more favorable, we should easily take Guantanamo Bay and then Puerto Rico if Spain doesn't just surrender. Well, I still want more stuff, and also, without border changes, no. We are going to... Okay, well. A peace has been concluded. We didn't gain too much, but we did unlock destroyers. And there's a rebellion in Sakhalin. That's a shame, really. I have no idea why our government would choose to peace out, but governments are weird. So unfortunately, we're probably just going to have to go to war with Spain again, because I still want Guantanamo Bay and Puerto Rico. But we did annex Cuba, which is the single biggest objective anyway. By the time we fight another war with Spain, if we do, we should be at a pretty big advantage, hopefully. Not the most dramatic war, unfortunately, because... no, not that. Call me crazy, but I'm fairly certain... Yeah, the only ships we lost were... Those are merchants. And we didn't sink either of those two ships that Spain lost either, so no ships were actually lost in the whole of this war. There were just a series of desultory passing engagements between cruisers. That's alright. Our budget is not alright, but it hopefully will be once the Cincinnati is completed. Oh, we should reorganize our ships again. All of these really... just return to the East Coast. We should leave something in the Caribbean, maybe. You know what? I'll just send one of the... in fact, we might need something in the Caribbean. Hold on. No, there's no foreign state. It's a home area, because of... Obviously. So we don't need a foreign station requirement. But we probably should have something. I'll send them... Thanks for watching, sailors. I hope you enjoyed the video. New parts should be up daily, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy the video, consider leaving a like or subscribing. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.